Views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program. I want to tell you folks, why are you listening to my show? Because we are here discussing empowerment of your health and your life, and the object of the show is to put you in the driver's seat of your health and your life, to give you the keys to know what to do when the time comes, so that you're not continuously relying on misinformation and putting your health in another person's hands. My name's Amit Katz. Amit S.Katz. I like to throw that S in there, because if you meet any other Amit Katz, it will not be me. There's only one S.Katz. Often imitated, but never duplicated. I am the owner of Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells, California. We are located in the Village in Indian Wells, on Cook Street and Highway 111. We are right next door to Kitchen. Everybody knows Jan, so I'm the new kid on the block. You're welcome to come on by and say hello. I'm also the author of the book, The Front Line of Nutrition, 50 Treatments, Remedies, and Cures you can find in a health food store. I'm also the creator, the progenitor of the Amit Lifestyles Diet. If you go to AmitLifestylesDiet.com, you can find out about the 6 pillars of my diet program, which allow a person to navigate weight loss without hitting any roadblocks, stumbling blocks. You never hit the wall. You continue to lose weight until you hit your target weight, and you actually learn how to eat and what supplements to take, and you don't really fall into some fad diet where you're yo-yoing and seesawing, and you really get a handle on your weight. So I want to welcome the whole valley. I love this part of my show, where I welcome everybody, all desert citizens from Palm Springs, Desert Hot Springs, Thousand Palms, Cat City. I'm talking to you, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, Indian Wells, La Quinta. You see, I didn't forget La Quinta this time. I listen to my audience. Bermuda Dunes, Indio, and the city of Coachella. Yes, I didn't forget you, even though you're tucked away there behind Indio. Yes, welcome all citizens. If you have any questions, feel free to call the show at 760-440-TALK or 760-440-8255. On the show, every week, I will do a best question of the week. So you're welcome to email me any question you like at lifestylesweb@yahoo.com. And if you come up with something really juicy, that gets my mental juices flowing, it's a good question, I'll go ahead and post it. Well, actually, I'll read it out loud, and then you're welcome. I'll do a nice giveaway, and you're welcome to come up to the store, say, hey, Amit, I won the prize, and I'll give you that prize, whatever it is. It could be a bottle of something in vogue that I'm talking about, or something that you may have heard on the show. All topics that we talk about do appear on my blog site, which is healthtruthportal.com. Again, healthtruthportal.com. So this is coming at you kind of fast. Something may be new or obscure to you. Don't worry. It's there on the blog site. All you have to do is just go on there, and you can read it, double check it, look at it, kick its tires, pick it apart, and it will be there for your viewing. At 15 past the hour, I have our very own Julie Buehler, who is the host. Yes, that name does sound familiar. She's the host of Bueller's Day Off on 1010 KXPS. Her name goes ahead of her, so, we'll get into more of her credentials when she gets in here, very shortly. The reason she's coming on the show is because, I kind of like the concept of every person that you meet that exudes some type of health. They're doing something that, in my book, The Front Line of Nutrition, I've sort of distilled this down in the last few years of my life, the concept of 3 pillars of health. And anybody that looks kind of healthy, chances are they're doing this, but they may not even know it. So first time I met Julie, I was like, oh, wait a minute, she's entirely too pretty to be in radio. But then just a little brief conversation, I realized that she's probably doing something that I've commented on commented on in my book. And I'd like to read this portion from my book real quick, and this will kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. And this is an ongoing thing. If you tune into this show every Sunday, you're going to hear some repeat of this concept, which is you need to build your own health pillar, your own health manual. Okay? If you're not building your own health manual, you're not chambering the knowledge that it takes to deal with a health situation as it comes up, you're going to be at the mercy of 1, misinformation, and 2, you're going to panic. And when you panic and when you have fear, anybody can control you. You're going to delegate your health and the responsibility of your own health to a stranger. It might be somebody who's qualified, but he has no recourse. He has no responsibility towards you. Whether you live or die, sadly enough, he's going to be making money. So, take charge of your life. But this is the concept here. In my book, I call this lifestyle, the 3 pillars. I have adopted a 3 pillars of health theory in my life. It serves me well, and I believe that every human who enjoys some form of health is doing something similar without even knowing it. The 3 pillars are: 1, some form of regular exercise; 2, adhering to a particular diet; and 3, some form of health care. If I take my case, for example, I have chosen 1, Bikram yoga; 2, a low-carb / high-fiber diet; and 3, traditional Chinese medicine, which includes acupuncture and herbs. So when Julie gets in here, we're going to scratch her lottery ticket and find out how is it that she is able to stay healthy, because, look, you can't fool health. You can't. It's there. If you see a supermodel and she's 100 pounds and emaciated and she looks like she needs to get off the antidepressant medication and eat a steak, and not necessarily in that order, chances are that, yes, she does look like that, and she does need the steak, and she needs to get her life together. So this is something that, I've been doing this for 20 years, and when I see somebody who's healthy, I zero in on it, much like the $6 million man back in the 70s. I feel sorry for you kids. You didn't grow up with that cool stuff. Okay, and at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be talking about joint health. We live in a slightly more senior community here, and in the vein of chambering those ideas, those thoughts, building your own health manual, we're going to be talking about nutrition for your joints. It's not an acceptable thing. You don't have to accept decrepitude. You do not have to accept pain. You do not have to accept that from this day forth you will have arthritis and pain. Do not accept it. If you don't accept it, you don't have to go down that road. And coming up at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to have Scott Jones of Cogent Solutions, and they make a fantastic product that is really, really good for your joints. It has applications for almost every person in the public, not just seniors. If you're an athlete, it has applications. It will protect your joints. If you have any type of pain in the body, no matter what age you are, this will help you. So, anyway, about your joint health. In a nutshell, before Scott comes in, joint health is a combination of several factors. It's inflammation, and that's just something that happens as we get older. You're going to have more inflammation because you do more and more stuff, and it's tougher for the body to overcome that inflammation. The healing process is slower. If you don't heal as fast, you accumulate inflammatory nutrients in the body. The second component is the building blocks, the very building blocks of life itself in your joints. Some of that you're going to get from your food. If your food is not that great, your diet's not that great, well, those building blocks won't be there. And then the third part of it is recuperation. If the body's not recuperating, and you're not getting the building blocks, and you're not eating the right amounts of foods or the right foods that will nourish those joints, you're going to go down the road of inflammation. And this is something, or arthritis or pain. And this is not something that you need to accept, like I said before. If you accept it, you ingrain it, and then you enshrine it, and then it becomes a fact. Don't accept it. There's a lot that we can do. So, anyway, like I said, coming in at 15 after the break, we're going to have Julie Buehler in here. I am Amit S.Katz, the host of, you're listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program. And like I said, when we come back, we'll be talking to Julie from 1010 KXPS. You're listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program on Money Radio 1200.
If good health is important to you, look no further than products from Genesis Today. Genesis Today has a great line of nutritional supplements made from pure natural foods that your body can absorb, instead of chemical supplements manufactured in a laboratory. Genesis Today is a progressive nutrition company that specializes in superfoods. These exceptional plants and fruits are packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other vital nutrients at 20 times, 100 times, even 200 times the nutritional value of common fruits and vegetables. These products are prepared with low to no heat so as not to destroy the nutrients, and package them in non-toxic glass bottles for your consumption. Visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center today to find out what Genesis Today product is right for you.
Have you ever gone to a health food store seeking help and left with a product you didn't trust and information that was less than reliable? That never happens at Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells. We have over 20 years of matching our customers with the right supplements to enhance their life and improve their health. Come to Lifestyles and experience our experience. Feel better, look better. And now, through the summer months, receive 25% off of all of our store supplements. For more information, call 760-568-6522. And remember the name, Lifestyles, the first, the last, and the only health food store you will ever need.
Memory. It can be, well, less than reliable. Do you ever walk into a room and forget why you went in there? Ever lose your train of thought right in the middle of a conversation? What about misplacing your car keys or misplacing the whole car? If you think about it, your brain controls everything you do, walking, talking, and remembering things. The healthier your brain is, the better it's able to control all these important functions. As a normal part of aging, our memory begins to fade. Prevagen was developed to improve memory and support cognitive function. If you're experiencing occasional absent-mindedness or just want to support healthy brain function, then visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center in Indian Wells and ask for Prevagen. Prevagen is also available by calling 760-368-6522. Call 760-368-6522 or visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center and ask for Prevagen today.
Check out Money Radio online. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook by searching My Money Radio, and get more at moneyradio1200.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program. As I promised before we went to break, joining me here in the studio is Julie Buehler, host of Julie Buehler's Day Off at 1010 KXPS. She's also the CEO of Kicks Media, LLC. You might not know that. You know, you might just strictly...
Most people probably don't.
Yeah. No, but I do my research.
Thank
I
you.
do my homework.
Thank you.
You know, I don't want to just be, a one-trick pony here.
Right.
You know, I dive deep. If I could go KGB on you, I would find more information.
I'm sure. And
That's
with social media nowadays and the NSA, it's pretty easy to find out about a lot of people.
Unfortunately, the universe has not allowed me to be that dangerous yet.
Not yet, he
not
says.
Yet.
I got that.
Not yet. Well, so far, I think there will be more handcuffs and arrests for me, to keep me in my place. One last thing, and this is kind of key to our whole conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a writer and reporter at CrossFit Journal.
That's right. That's where the pythons come from. And by pythons, I mean my biceps.
Yes, which she is very proud of. And today she came in with a wonderful cut dress, sporting the guns.
Well, it's hot out there, Amit.
Yes,
it's hot.
It is.
How are you today, by the way?
I'm fantastic.
Thanks for
Hunky
having
dory,
me.
baby. Like my mom says, Daddy's rich and Mommy's good looking. So let's dive into this material. Like I said before, when I first met you, I came in to the studio. They were talking to me, hey, let's do the show, and I was still kind of iffy and all on the fence about it. Mm-hmm. I walked in and I see Julie was sitting there eating a salad.
Yes.
And then they told me, that that's Julie. She's the one that does the whole thing, the sports thing. And I looked over and I said, one, she's entirely too pretty for radio.
Thank you.
Because not everybody, it's almost a travesty, people. I am doing a little theater of the mind. When you look this good, I can pump you up a little bit more. So when you see her in person, don't say, hey, Amit,
yeah, she's more of a 4. Yeah. I had her pegged at a 7. She's a 4. Come on, Amit.
I never give a number to a woman. And second thing is, you look healthy. And that, like I said before, if somebody doesn't look healthy, they can be pretty, but they don't look healthy. You look healthy. So, and my whole thing here is I'm constantly telling people there's a method to stay healthy.
Yes.
And certainly. I want to know what you are doing to stay healthy. So let's talk about the CrossFit, because one of the 3 pillars that I talk about in staying healthy is the exercise that you're doing. So let's get into that. When did you, because you obviously, CrossFit is a relatively new thing in the States, but you were doing something before. So what did you do before you discovered CrossFit?
I was very lucky to grow up in a family where sports was always part of our life. So I played soccer for 13 years at the Olympic development program level, and it was always, competition was always a part of our life. So as I was being raised, I would go to the gym with my oldest brother, who I thought was the greatest guy on the face of the planet, and his football buddies, and I worked out with them. So when I was, 14, 15, 16 years old, I'm working out with these guys that are 5 years older than me, and I'm trying to keep up with them. So between competition and just that innate desire to want to keep up with my oldest brother and my favorite person on the planet, I learned to work out, and I learned to really study the benefits of not only fitness but pushing yourself, and the mental benefits as well as the physical benefits. And so I've always loved working out. I've always found it fascinating. And when I was hosting my sports talk radio show, somebody came to me and they said, Jules, we'd love to have you part of this Marine Corps challenge that is being put on at CrossFit. I had no idea what CrossFit was, but they said Marine Corps challenge. It benefits the Wounded Warrior Project. And I said, I'm in, done. Yeah. So then I was introduced to CrossFit, and I found it's this collision between competition and fitness, and you get the best of both worlds. So I became instantly intrigued.
So your sport of choice before CrossFit, okay, so you did soccer.
A long time.
Okay, and then after soccer, how did you stay fit? Because you didn't obviously continue playing soccer in your 20s.
Right. When I got to college, I then just started working out, doing a lot of training in the gym. I would run the stadium stairs with football players. I just worked out with any athlete that I could to kind of keep that that peak physical condition. So
in many ways, you were already constructing your very own CrossFit.
Definitely.
Without really thinking about
it. Great way of putting it.
So now, when did you discover CrossFit? How long ago has this been happening?
3.5 years ago.
Wow.
A little less than that, maybe even. And then I'm a very competitive. Some people think overly competitive. But CrossFit's great because it really pushes you past what you think your barriers are, and illuminates the fact that, oh my gosh, I can go way beyond what my mental barriers are. And I love that part of it. So, I just got involved with that, and I started writing for the CrossFit Journal kind of serendipitously because I was covering the Super Bowl in Indianapolis, and I ran into one of the linebackers for the New York Giants, and he had mentioned that he did CrossFit. He had cancer. Ewing sarcoma in his thigh. They took out his femur and put a titanium rod in there.
And he was still able to get back in the game?
Not only did he get back to the NFL level, he was an All-American at Boston College, by the way. Not only did he get back there, but he used CrossFit to do that. And they end up winning the Super Bowl his rookie year. His Mark Hertzleek is his name. Oh, wow. Just a phenomenal story. So I was interviewing him, and he mentioned that CrossFit was really instrumental in getting him back into shape cardiovascularly. And I said, bing, light bulb, and that's how I started writing for the CrossFit Journal.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Now, where do you do CrossFit out here in the Valley? Because there are a few places that
There's 6 of them now.
Yeah.
When I started CrossFit, there was one of them, and it was Desert CrossFit, just off Monterey in the Rancho Mirage area.
Okay.
But now there's a couple of them. So if you're in La Quinta, there's one nearby. If you're in Bermuda Dunes area, there's one just down there.
And they're all affiliated?
They're all independently owned, and they're very different. So it really behooves anyone, if you're interested in becoming involved in CrossFit, to kind of go to different. They're called called boxes, not gyms. And it's a different paradigm completely than your average gym, because you go and you use space and you use your body weight and you use your own tenacity to really get the intensity to where it should be, rather than sitting on a machine that dictates which plane of movement you're going to be in.
Yeah. So, but it's my understanding is that CrossFit is more functional anyway.
Yes.
The whole idea isn't that, bodybuilders, when they hit the gym and they do a bench press and they're, I bench pressed 300 pounds. It's useless.
Yes.
I mean, it might look good. There may be a physical aspect if you like that, but bench pressing 300 is not going to make you faster. It's not going to make you stronger. It's not going to give you any type of endurance in real life. Or longevity.
Or flexibility.
Yeah, if anything, it may actually destroy your joints in the long run, which we're going to be talking about bottom of the hour. We're going to be talking about joint health.
Right.
But, so like, if you go into the gym now, not the gym, the box, you said. You go into the box.
At CrossFit.
At CrossFit. Do you know what you're going to be doing that day? They just surprise you.
Yes.
They're like,
and that's the other element that really makes it very compelling, and especially, and for all fitness levels, because a lot of people, especially if you're in shape or if you've worked out for the majority of your life, you're probably looking in the mirror going, I'm not really seeing results anymore. Well, CrossFit shocks the body, and you know how beneficial that is.
Yeah, just
because
keep on
every day
confusing
it's
you.
different.
Yeah.
Every day it's different. So that's the other thing that's really beneficial. And then if you're new, you're kind of experiencing that shock with everybody else. So you don't feel like a total schmuck like you would in a regular gym.
So nobody's really shining.
Yeah, everybody's getting their butts kicked. Yeah. That's the cool thing about CrossFit.
Yeah, nobody aces the session, walks out of there and says, oh, look at these losers behind me. Everybody takes a beating.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They actually coined the term, you get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what makes a good CrossFit workout.
That's funny because, my thing is, I'd like to go try CrossFit at some point, but my whole thing has been yoga. I've been doing it for 12 years.
Oh, yes.
So I get, every time you go in there, you think, hey, I had a great lesson.
Yes.
That does not guarantee that next time you're going to have a fantastic lesson.
Right. I did Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well, we're doing a little cross promotion here.
Great.
You're on my show. Hopefully you'll have me.
Come on, viewers' day off.
Yeah.
Where we have too much fun to call it work.
Exactly. And then maybe, I'll come do CrossFit. You come do Bikram.
There you go.
There
you go. If you can keep up.
Oh, I can't keep up, honey. I know I'm going to get my ass whooped.
But again, everybody does, so that's the fun thing.
But before we go, I really want to talk, I was talking about the 3 pillars of health about, we talked about what you like to do in terms of your workout, but diet. You've obviously you've got a handle on something. You're doing something with your diet. What are your concepts in terms of eating?
I eat lean protein, good fats, and I stay clear of the gluten, the whites, the sugars, the breads. I don't think I've had a sandwich on bread since I was in my 20s. And the other thing is I try to eat regularly through the day. I don't do that whole starvation thing because that's a bunch of junk. And then you also have to be aware, and that's the biggest thing. So many people eat unaware of what they're putting in their mouth. And I think that whether or not you like to engage in social eating or things like that, in the sports media world, I'm at football games a lot.
Yeah.
I'm at basketball games a lot, and surrounded by cookies, popcorn, pretzels, blah, 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 blah.
And you don't touch any of that.
You have to stay away from it. Because the pounds pile on really quickly when you're just mindlessly eating. And that was the biggest thing that I learned early on in my career is be aware. Before you put anything in your mouth, say, does this feed my body? Is this fuel to my body? Or is this a treat? And if it's a treat, you limit it. But that's the basic tenets that I use.
But your parents, none of them were really had a weight issue, right?
Both of my parents had a weight issue.
Really?
Oh yes, yep. I come from German stock, so if I'm not careful, I will balloon very
Fraulein
quickly.
Buehler.
Jawohl. I sneeze and I build muscle. And same thing goes for gaining weight. I have to be pretty careful, otherwise I'll put on the pounds pretty quickly. But yes, both my parents had significant weight issues, and they've both though recently overcome it.
Oh wow.
They went gluten-free completely and really saw the benefits of that. And again, awareness, really.
And did that come from you, or they were like, okay, we figured it out by themselves, or was it like a family thing?
It was a family thing. My father was hit by a car. He was a biker. He was hit by a car, very bad accident. The doctors weren't sure he was going to make it through the night. Well, ended up exploding his pelvis and his forearm. Long story short, those type of injuries, when you're an athlete and you have those injuries, you eat the way you used to and you could work out. Now you can't work out. So he put on 100 pounds and he needed hip replacement surgery. The doctor said you can't get it until you lose weight. Well, he can't lose weight unless he exercises, and he's in so much pain. You know, that catch-22.
Just simply had to change the diet.
Totally changed the diet. And cold turkey in a lot of things. Cold turkey.
Wow. Where did the time go, Julie? We must have you back, and
minutes.
We're coming up on the hard break. Wow, that was absolutely fascinating. You're nothing short of a delight.
Thank you so
I
much.
hope we can reciprocate, and I'll come
Certainly.
in. Yeah.
Certainly. Well, it's great to have you in the family, Meet.
Thank you. Coming in after the break, I'll be speaking with Scott of Cogent Solutions. You're listening to Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program on Money Radio 1200.
NBC News Radio, I'm Melissa Rayberger. Federal safety officials say the cockpit voice recorder from Asiana Airlines Flight 214 showed the pilot tried to abort its landing and come around for another try a second and a half before it crashed at San Francisco Airport.
The approach proceeds normally as they descend. There is no discussion of any aircraft anomalies or concerns with the approach.
The National Transportation Safety Board Chief Deborah Hersman says the recorder also showed there was a call to increase airspeed roughly 2 seconds before impact, and that 4 seconds before impact the crew was alerted that the aircraft was approaching a stall. In Quebec, the death toll has risen from yesterday's derailment of a runaway train in a small seaside community. At least 40 people are still unaccounted for. Investigators still don't know how the unmanned train derailed. This is NBC News Radio.
Okay, listeners, another July 4th weekend is coming, and you're going to meet your friends, family, and acquaintances and hope that they don't notice your yellow, stained teeth. This is Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs, and I have the solution to whiten your teeth in 5 minutes. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten your teeth on average 2 shades in 5 minutes and 6 shades in 7 days. The secret is a tooth detergent that lifts stains off of your teeth, and it's easy. There's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. Oh, and better yet, unlike normal teeth whiteners, Power Swabs remove stains from caps and veneers. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-925-2903. 1-800-925-2903. I guarantee your family and friends will love your new bright white smile. Try it risk-free. 1-800-925-2903. 1-800-925-2903.
Flint Wheeler here for New York Life Insurance and Investments. Are you a parent, about to be, ready to retire, or just starting out in your career? The decisions we make in life affect not only you, but those you love and hold most valuable. New York Life has been around for over 167 years. Let our experience help whatever your next stage is in life. Protect the ones you love, the assets you've acquired, and the future you want. Call me for a complimentary consultation, 760-409-4612, or my partner, Dari, si habla español, at 909-519-5436, or visit flintwheeler.com.
It might be the door alarm, or the new safety drain covers, the pool fencing, even the swim lessons. But the fact is, you can never know which safety step will save a life, until it does. Adding multiple safety steps to your safe pool practices can mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov. A public service message from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, the American Red Cross, and YMCA of the USA.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program. As promised, I have on the line with me Scott Cogent. No, my mistake. Scott Jones of Cogent Solutions. They're a small company, but they make a mighty, mighty product that I'm really interested in exposing. I'm big on it. I've been blogging on it. If you go to my blog site, which is healthtruthportal.com, you'll be able to read various blogs, various things that I've written about it. But let's get Scott in here and dive into the material. Scott, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too, Amit. How's it going?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, okay. Now, let's start at the top. 20 years ago, all we had on the market was, for joint health, pretty much all we had was yucca root, and there were some various oyster extracts and green lip mussel shells and things like that, but there really wasn't anything that addressed joint pain and inflammation. And then about 4 or 5 years after that, somewhere around 1994, 1995, shark cartilage came out, and then about a year or two later, all of a sudden, based on that knowledge, we were getting glucosamine and chondroitin. Now, these things were good, but there is a level of help that we're getting from these products. And then all of a sudden, hyaluronic acid came out, and then you guys came out with your product, and it took it to a whole new level. Why is it that the product that you're making, Cogent Solutions are the manufacturers of a product called Baxyl. Why is Baxyl so effective, Scott?
Well, like you said, it takes everything to the next level. There's always improvement to be made on products, and we feel like with all of these predecessors, glucosamine and chondroitin, the shark cartilage, all of these things from the past, they've all built up to one thing, and that's hyaluronic acid. That's exactly what glucosamine and chondroitin, over a long period of time, when combined together, do create a trace amount of hyaluronic acid, where our product just goes to the finished product of that whole process in a high concentration and in a molecular form that mimics what the body already has in it. So it's almost like instead of, if it was your birthday, Amit, taking, and you did have a birthday yesterday. I just remembered
thank you
that.
very much.
Happy birthday. So on your birthday, I could have been an okay guy and got you, some ingredients to make a cake, and told you to take a little bit of sugar,
like a Betty Crocker mix.
Yeah,
add water, bake.
You got it. I could have got you a mix.
I love that analogy.
A lot of ingredients, and hopefully it would have made a birthday cake if you would have ate a little bit of it every day. But that wouldn't happen. Or I could get you the finished product, the birthday cake. So everything else is the ingredients to try to help your joints. Baxyl is the finished product. It's the best thing that you can have for the joints.
Yeah, because, I've, again, all these things that I mentioned before, yucca root, green lip mussel extracts, and glucosamine, chondroitin, MSMs, and other, all these sulfur-based nutrients. I've taken them all, and they're all nice. They're all good. But the speed at which hyaluronic acid works, or the hyaluronic acid found within Baxyl, it's much faster. It hits the body more rapidly. Now, what is the basic difference between hyaluronic acid, which many companies make, and the patented hyaluronic acid found within Baxyl?
Baxyl, we call it hyaluronin, and the reason is hyaluronin, chemically, scientifically speaking, is the correct term for this molecule as it naturally occurs in the body. So with Baxyl, one of the things you have to remember about hyaluronic acid, it has to be wet to work. It's got to be a liquid. A lot of companies will make pill and capsule forms, and there are numerous reasons that those just cannot work very well. And, when you take Baxyl, the MHB3 hyaluronin that's patented that's in there, it's already hydrated. It's a high molecular weight, which mimics what the body is already producing. And it just looks so much like what your body's already making that that's what really is the key to making it work as quick as it does.
Now, where is hyaluronic acid produced in the body? Is it joint specific, or is it produced by the liver and then utilized elsewhere in the body?
No, it's pretty simple. Hyaluronin is everywhere, and it's in your skin. It's in all of every tissue of the body has hyaluronin, and it's made locally by cells in that particular area. So the hyaluronin found in your knee joint are made by cells in that area. The hyaluronin in the patch of your skin, in the palm of your hand. It's made by the cells in that particular area of skin.
So there's no chance that I'll, like, for instance, if we were to compare this for lack of a better comparison, for instance, to hormones that are produced by the body. Mm-hmm. If I bombard the body with a massive dose of testosterone, my own testicular testosterone is going to stop. In the case of hyaluronic acid or hyaluronin, if I supplement the body with hyaluronic acid, will it stop the body's own production or diminish it?
Actually, it works in the opposite direction.
Really?
It encourages the body to upregulate its own natural production of hyaluronin, actually. Whenever you have an injury, mm-hmm. Let's say you injure your knee.
Yeah.
Since the cells in your knee are producing hyaluronin, your cells there realize there has been an issue. Mm-hmm. And in order to, because hyaluronin is so good to promote the healing and the repairing process and the lubrication, the cells there automatically upregulate mm-hmm. just to help the knee to heal. And it's like that everywhere. When you take Baxyl, it actually triggers your body into a mode where it thinks that for some reason we need to make more hyaluronin. So it doesn't just do it in a particular area, it actually upregulates production all over the body.
Okay. Now, if the body is already in the presence of hyaluronin, your body produces more, then what happens when you how do you know what dose is the right dose to give a person? Let's say a person's 350 pounds and you have another person that's 100 pounds. Is the dose always the same?
We dose everyone the same. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the more you take of it, we have found the better, as long as it is in the correct molecular form. And so far, we believe that we're the only product that is. But there does reach a point where you can't take really too much, I wouldn't say. But there is going to be a point where the more you take doesn't necessarily give you the same results. It's not all, it doesn't all run together like that. So we give what we think is the optimal dosage that is, it works for everyone in that dose mm-hmm. form, in that amount, but it also, it allows us to keep the product at a price that makes sense and that's affordable for everyone.
Yeah. Now, what about age? Because I'm sure there isn't a 5-year-old walking around with arthritis. If there is, it's an extreme case. And yet, arthritis, again, Baxyl it treats a great many things, but one of the key things is pain and arthritis. So those are usually are older people diseases. Why does hyaluronic acid or hyaluronin just decrease as we get older, or we just use it up more? Why does that? Do we know why this happens?
It's a natural process, and just due to aging and due to injury or trauma. Mm-hmm. And just to interject really quick, Baxyl is okay for any age. A lot of people that are younger, that are athletes, really benefit from hyaluronin as a kind of a preventive measure, mm-hmm. and also to help with any kind of healing, bone breakage, just different things, different trauma that might happen to the body. What happens actually is, after about right at about age 30 or 35, mm-hmm. your body is using and needing more hyaluronin than it can produce every day.
Okay.
And that's what leads to just about every negative sign of aging. Joint pain, wrinkles and fine lines, mm-hmm. vision problems, digestive issues, all of this different stuff is directly linked to hyaluronin. And, we don't really know why, with everyone, that does happen. Some mm-hmm. people, it's much worse than others. We believe that diet, of course, plays a big role in that, but also how you use the body. If it's somebody that's, that really has a labor-intensive physical job, or mm-hmm. that's an athlete, since they're cycling that hyaluronin at such an incredible rate mm-hmm. on a constant basis, they're doing more damage than someone like me who sits at a desk, most of the day.
Okay, that ushers in the question of inflammation. If somebody is more active, they are obviously creating more inflammatory nutrients. Do we know that hyaluronic acid or hyaluronin or Baxyl specifically reduce inflammation, or is it anti-inflammatory?
High molecular weight hyaluronin, as found in Baxyl, high molecular weight hyaluronin is naturally anti-inflammatory.
Fantastic.
Whereas the low molecular weight stuff, which is found in most of the pill and capsule forms,
Mm-hmm.
that's considered by the body as pro-inflammatory. Now, taking one of those isn't going to hurt you because it's not going to be absorbed. But low molecular weight hyaluronin mimics what's being used up by the joint. See, the joint the cells around the joint produce a high molecular weight molecule.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into the joint and it forces out all of the used up particles that you've already cycled. Those are considered low molecular weight. When the body sees those come out and back into the system, it says, nope, this is the old stuff, we don't need it, and it sends it right out of the body.
Now, okay, so we talked a little bit about the significance of inflammation. What about lubrication, synovial fluid? What part of synovial fluid is hyaluronic acid?
Hyaluronic acid is one of the main constituents of the synovial fluid. You can think of the hyaluronin as the thickening agent in the synovial fluid. The synovial fluid's always going to be there. But what happens as we age, once again, and that concentration of hyaluronin isn't there anymore, that fluid gets very thin and very watery.
Yeah.
So, of course, something like that, it doesn't have the lubrication properties, it doesn't have the cushioning properties that you should have. When you're healthy, those fluids should be about the consistency of egg whites. But what we see with people that do develop, any osteo conditions, that fluid is very, very thin, and it allows the bones not to be properly lubricated. It allows the cartilage to start drying out. And that's one reason that our product is kind of a thicker liquid.
Yeah.
It's because the concentration is so high. So you can watch out, for products that are thinner, they don't have as much of a concentration of this high molecular weight molecule.
No, so that's why I'm so jazzed about this, and I write so much about Baxyl, because if you're going to do something, you want it to be more than singular in its action. You want it to cover as much territory as possible. So we're dealing with, the end result, which is arthritis, but we're dealing with inflammation systemically, lubrication, and that can be anything from, women who are going through menopause who may be experiencing vaginal dryness, all the way up to, just having really, really good skin and wanting to preserve a younger, more youthful look, all the way through to, like I said before, arthritis, back pain. It's so unique. I mean, there's just nothing like it. Wow. So anyway, all I can say is, if you haven't had a chance to try this product, this is new to you. We're going to have, Scott, you're going to be coming back on the show, I hope, in a couple of weeks, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, because we just scraped the surface of this, and there's so much more to talk about. And we're coming up on the break in a minute, and I want to say goodbye to you properly. But if you haven't experienced the profound effects of this, and this is something that's important to you, or you're experiencing any problems with your joints, with your skin, any of the subjects that we've talked about with Scott, you are a candidate for this product, and you will benefit from it. So anyway, there's nothing quite like Baxyl. Scott, wonderful having you on. You've been nothing short of a delight.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always good talking to you, Amit.
Yes, and like I said, you promised to come back, right?
Oh, yeah, we will be back.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go to break. After break, we're going to be doing Herb of the Week, and I'll be taking some calls. Anyway, you are listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition radio program on Money Radio 1200.
Memory. It can be, less than reliable. Do you ever walk into a room and forget why you went in there? Ever lose your train of thought right in the middle of a conversation? What about misplacing your car keys or misplacing the whole car? If you think about it, your brain controls everything you do, walking, talking, and remembering things. The healthier your brain is, the better it's able to control all these important functions. As a normal part of aging, our memory begins to fade. Prevagen was developed to improve memory and support cognitive function. If you're experiencing occasional absent-mindedness or just want to support healthy brain function, then visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center in Indian Wells and ask for Prevagen. Prevagen is also available by calling 760-368-6522. Call 760-368-6522 or visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center and ask for Prevagen today. If good health is important to you, look no further than products from Genesis Today. Genesis Today has a great line of nutritional supplements made from pure natural foods that your body can absorb, instead of chemical supplements manufactured in a laboratory. Genesis Today is a progressive nutrition company that specializes in superfoods. These exceptional plants and fruits are packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other vital nutrients at 20 times, 100 times, even 200 times the nutritional value of common fruits and vegetables. These products are prepared with low to no heat so as not to destroy the nutrients, and package them in non-toxic glass bottles for your consumption. Visit Lifestyle Nutrition Center today to find out what Genesis Today product is right for you.
Have you ever gone to a health food store seeking help and left with a product you didn't trust and information that was less than reliable? That never happens at Lifestyles Nutrition Center in Indian Wells. We have over 20 years of matching our customers with the right supplements to enhance their life and improve their health. Come to Lifestyles and experience our experience. Feel better, look better. And now, through the summer months, receive 25% off of all of our store supplements. For more information, call 760-568-6522. And remember the name, Lifestyles, the first, the last, and the only health food store you will ever need.
From the Coachella Valley out to the world. Listen to us anywhere. Streaming live 24/7 at moneyradio1200.com.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program. Wasn't that a fantastic interview? Yes, I believe it was. If I do give myself a grade, that was fun. Let's dive into best question of the week. I got a really, really nice question here. Last week we didn't do best question of the week because we were kind of dense and we had a lot of interviews and stuff. So this was from 2 weeks back. I got a question from a gentleman by the name of Benny Henshaw of Indian Wells. He sent it to me at Lifestyles Web this was sent through email at my Lifestyles Web at yahoo.com. And again, if you have a question, please fire it at me. And if it's good, it may actually make best question of the week. And if I read your question on the air, you are welcome to a prize. Just come into the store and pick whatever you like. So Benny Henshaw of Indian Wells asks, on last week's show, you mentioned that prickly pear reduces inflammation. How effective is prickly pear in treating this condition? That's a beautiful question because it was actually one of the things that I forgot to talk about when we were discussing prickly pear. The initial information that is coming to me from Paragon Herbs, which are one of the best, probably the best manufacturer of prickly pear, and prickly pear products, is that it is 200 times, yes, you heard me right, 200 times more effective than Celebrex. Now, if you go to the tube, there are all these big ads about how you can take one Celebrex and you have comfort for the whole day. But Celebrex doesn't really solve the problem. Prickly pear kind of treats that inflammatory response or the overreaction by the body at the root. So the more you consume prickly pear, the more comfort you're going to have in your body. And again, all you're doing is eating something from nature. You're not taking a drug that we don't know what Celebrex is going to do for you. I don't want to badmouth any drug company specifically or any drug for that matter. But the truth is that you just don't know what the long-term effects of this are. When a company does a study on a drug, again, they don't really take into consideration the slippery slope. They don't know what's going to happen when 1 million people use this drug over a period of 10 years. Their study is somewhat limited. It's a good study. They've invested a lot of time and effort into it, but yet we don't know what the law of unintended consequences is going to be. But with prickly pear, we do, because It has been used for this purpose for over probably 1,000 years. There's information about it being used in Mexico for this purpose. Tribally, it was used for this purpose. And we're finding out lots and lots of great information about prickly pear. Okay. Now, I'd like to also do Herb of the Week. This is a really good one. I like this. Herb of the Week is bitter orange. Bitter orange is a little strange for us here because in the West, when we peel our oranges, the only thing we actually make out of the peel is marmalade. But we never really consider it as a medicine. But in traditional Chinese medicine, it is viewed, actually every citrus fruit has a specific application, and every peel has an application. Now, bitter orange is an immature orange, and it has, when oranges, before they ripen, they have a green, the peel has a green color. So there, in traditional Chinese medicine, this has been used as part. Again, you don't really base a whole formula on it, but it usually assists the other herbs in the formula. So bitter orange has been used traditionally to strengthen digestion, but we've also found that it has certain other applications, including weight loss. It increases thermogenic. The thermogenesis, which is the body's ability to speed up its metabolism and burn fat. It's an appetite suppressant, so it slows it. If you take this with a meal, you're not going to feel hunger. You're not going to be hungry after 10, 15 minutes or an hour later. Increases energy. Improves thyroid function. Now, this is kind of cool because we find a lot of people, or at least I see a lot of people who come to me with thyroid issues. They come in with a thyroid problem, and before you go down the road of taking a medication which will create a dependence on that medication, which is basically what happens when you go down the road of thyroid medication. You're taking something that your body manufactures, and then when you're taking it from an outside source, your body slows down and gets lazy. So in many ways, yes, it will solve your problem, but you won't be able to live without it. So before you go down that road, let's say it's the first stages of hyperthyroidism, which is the slowing down of your thyroid. There's a possibility that bitter orange will have an application for you. Will actually strengthen the thyroid's function. So if you call in to the show, or if you write me a juicy question, you're welcome to win a bottle of bitter orange extract in capsule form by Solaray. We will have that in the store for you. Also, a few weeks back, we talked about moringa. Moringa, the superfood that has over 320 health benefits. That moringa giveaway is still up and going. If you come into the store and say, hey, I heard about moringa oleifera, I would like to try it. It's good for pain. It's good for as an appetite suppressant. It's good for energy. It's a phenomenal thing for you to come in and just ask, and you will get it. No problem at all. Where did the time go? Just slipping away from me. Alas, what can you do? But anyway, let me give out some information for you folks. Any questions, anything, you're welcome to call me at the store at 760-568-6522. If you'd like to try my diet program or you need more information about it, please call 760-568-1179. I'm more than happy to discuss the finer points of the Amit's Lifestyles diet. Anything that we've discussed today will be on the blog site, healthtruthportal.com. If you need more information about my diet, go to amitslifestylesdiet.com. If you'd like to, again, fire a question at me, lifestylesweb@yahoo.com. And anything that you'd like to purchase, go to the web store, lifestylesnutrition.net. And now it's time to say goodbye to all my beautiful people out there. Be healthy, be happy. I'll be here next week, as always. I'm Amit S.Katz, and you have been listening to the Lifestyles Nutrition Radio program on Money Radio 1200.